Here we go. We are slicing up a new 3D print model that I just bought. Okay, so if you go to Gambody.com, it's Gambody. Gambody. I don't know if you can see that. I just bought, they're having a big sale right now. Everything's 40% off. A lot of stuff is. So I got this model for like $16. Super cheap, but it's the Battlestar Galactica Pegasus. Somebody's already printed it out. I'm also going to print it out because I'm a nerd like that. And this one's for my friend Mike. And it also has, I don't know where the schematics are for this, but you can put in a battery and a bunch of LEDs to make it glow up. We're going to see if we can get to that. This is going to be a long project because as I'm slicing it up in my software, I'm going to initially print this in FDM plastic. And that is, if we go look at, where's Amazon and Google Pixel 9 Pro? If we do FDM 3D printer, here we go, FDM filament. It's this stuff, right? It spools. Ooh, I'm going to need a lot too. Oh, do they have gray? I'm going to need a lot of filament, and it comes in spools. Yeah, that gray would be good. We'll paint it. We'll paint it. Who cares? We'll paint it. So it doesn't matter if it's black or whatever. You just find something that you got a good price on. Elegoo's treated me well. Sunlu's all right. Creality's my go-to just because they seem to have good prices. But anytime you can find a sale, you want to try and find that. How much is this Sunlu? $39. Let's check our prices here. Ooh, they had a spike. November 1st, Black Friday stuff happening. So it's actually at a low right now. Okay. I might do that. So you go onto Gambody. Where's my thing? And you say, hey, I like that. I want to print that. And so you go and look at that. They got the LED lights right here, green and red, and the white ones coming through. You go in and you say, hey, I would like that. And so then what you do is you get the STL files, and I'll show you what that looks like. Where is it? Not my Eagles. My resin printer is down. I'm waiting for a VAT screen. I'm on the other side. I'm going to go to my assembly models, and we just got Battlestar Galactica and then FDM. And so here's all the pieces that they send you that you got to print off, all these little tiny pieces. What's really nice about Gambody is they will send you along with that a PDF of the build. Hey, here you go. This is pretty cool. Here's your new purchase. Come on. Here's your thing, and here's the things to print and how to assemble it. And it's pretty nice. It's got every part's numbered, so you know what goes where. This is 2, this is 1, and it fits together with 28 or 27 times 8. Oh, number 27, but 8 pins. And then there you go. You got the whole front headpiece, and then you got to put the little guns on the bottom and pew 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 and do all the fun things. So they do a really good job. Your money is well spent here, okay? So if you're wanting to get into this, and they've got a ton of stuff. It's not just this. If we go to Gambody and we take a look at the homepage here, I mean it's all kinds of stuff. It's AT-AT walkers or AT-ATs. It's Tron cycles. It's Minas Tirith. It's spaceships. It's the Alien. It's Vincent. It's everything. It's Dragon. It's all the things. You want Billy the Puppet on a tricycle? They got it. There's a whole bunch of different things here that you can get. You like the war rig truck? I'm assuming that's from one of those Mad Max movies. You want the Borg cube? You want Sauron's bust? You want to print this out? You can do it. The detail on that is outstanding. I would only resin print that. I would never FDM print that with plastic. So anyway, they've got a lot of stuff going on. That's a quick summary of Gambody. I really highly recommend it. They've got bundles and all kinds of deals going on right now. All kinds of really, really cool stuff. I think they just released... oh, that's cool. I just saw that. You stinkers. See how they hook you in? And then you can come here to see how tall it's going to be. Where's my tape measure? 13 inches. It's going to be a foot tall. That would be a fun project to do. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I bought it, I downloaded all the pieces, and then what you got to do is you go into the software or the model slicer of your choice. I use, what is this, Orca slicer. It's forked off of something. And here's a bunch of other things that I've modeled, but I'm going to try and open this and let's see if we can do everything at the same time. Because it's got a lot of pieces. It's almost 189 something pieces. And then some of those are duplicated. So we're going to try and open this. Now, I just finished putting everything on the plates. I just said, let me get it all out here to see what I got to work with. Because a lot of people think, oh, 3D printing is so easy. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's super easy. This is a multi-parted model that we need to print off and build. And so as you can see here, all I did was drag the file over and put it on a plate. Some of them are big and they only want to be on one plate. Some of these, I think we can, click, and now it'll swivel. We can put these over here and we can combine some of these to, you're not going to really reduce time when you print stuff like that. It's just the way FDM printers work, but at least I only need 2 of those and I got 4 of these. There's no reason to spend a whole print job just doing that. Just throw them over here. It's fine. But for some of these that, I keep forgetting about that. For some of these that are really big, this is going to take, I think when I sliced this, it said it's going to take, what did I say, Mike? 20 hours? This one's going to take a day 13, and you think, oh, there's not much to it. Well, one of the nice things is, we take a look underneath, these are all hollowed out parts that I think I'm really grateful to the modeler who did this and sliced it up and put all this stuff in here so that it's nice and hollow. That means it's not going to be heavy when it's all, I mean, it's still going to weigh something, but it's not going to be super dense. But there's lots of parts hanging out that we need to make sure that so it prints from the floor up. Let's go in here, let's go into preview. It's got to slice it. And okay, when we say slicing, so we slice this model into layers like a cake, right? And we're going to start on the bottom and we're going to add a layer of plastic and build up and build up and build up and build up. Well, that's what we're doing. We're slicing this thing into different layers, and there's going to be a lot of them because we're printing at like 0.2 or 0.4 millimeters per layer. It's really, really dense. And here we can have line by line everything. There's 806 layers to this thing. Okay, so this looks kind of funky because some things need to supports. You can't get up here and just print parts sticking out into air because it just can't work, right? You can't print onto just air and have it work. Not with my printer anyway. So some of this stuff, like in order to print this ledge, we have to have a support built up. And that's what this tree, this green tree is doing. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do supports for your builds. I tend to just automatically do trees because I don't want to waste a bunch of filament. But on the other hand, this feels like it's wasting a bunch of filament. So I could go in and visually inspect this and like, do you really, really need a tree right here? Do you need a segment attached to the side of this? Do we need to waste all this plastic just to make sure? I don't know. A lot of times I just print it and forget it. Just like, all right, you did your computer magic in your brain. Everything's fine. So over here are some statistics. The only thing I really care about is the time. This is a 19 hours, 47 minutes. But then the total filament is more important than that. Like this could take 6 days. I don't care. How much filament is this going to take? And this says 222 grams. When we look at our Sunlu, this is just an example. Let's go back and look at one specifically. There we go. Elegoo. Doesn't matter. This is going to say a 1,000 kilograms or 1 kilogram, which is 1,000 grams, right? So you just get familiar with it. This is going to be, this is going to hold 1,000 grams. And so I know that if I have a print that's going to be 447, it's going to use about half a spool of this plastic. So it just takes time to get used to that. So I could print 4 of these, 2, 4, 6, 8. I could comfortably print 3 of these on one spool because it's 222 grams and a spool is 1,000 grams. So math, yay. So here's another one. Here's part 2 of that head section of our Battlestar Galactica Pegasus 3D model. We got to wait for computers to do math. It's going to slice it. Now I already have this one configured with supports as well, because, you look at some of this stuff and you're like, there's no way it's going to just print flat parts in midair. It needs a support. It needs a floor to stand on, to build from. Oh, I need a soda. So that's what you have to do. Like I said, sometimes these 3D models are just easy to print. You grab it, you run it through your slicer, you say print. Depending on the printer, if you have a Bamboo Labs A1, you might be able to just connect on your phone and find something that you like and send it to the printer and have it be done. They make it really easy. I am a glutton for punishment, so I like to do it old school. So this is going to take a lot. This is going to take 1 day, 13 hours and 8 minutes, and it's going to use 415 grams. So almost half a spool of that plastic. Now, that is assuming it prints just fine all the way through, and I don't have any problems. Ask me, hey, Aaron, how many times have you started a print and it gone? More times than I want to talk about. Okay, so that's the first 2, and I've locked the plates, so they're all looking good. Now let's come over here and look at this one. All right, what do you got for me? Oops. Let's click on it. And let's rotate it. So I can see that there's some parts to this model as I just gently swivel. Oops, I don't want to do that. Gently swivel it around, that there's some parts that are going to need some supports. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 square pegs that are going to need some supports. This shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and I got to pull the side out here. Oops. There we go. And when I do a project like this, I like to I can set global settings that affect every single thing I print, but not everything you print like this is going to require the same settings. So in my Orca slicer, I say, hey, just for this object, let's go add supports, and let's go ahead and try it. Auto tree, auto generate supports. Style, default grid, or no, I want auto tree, style, default grid, organic. I don't know what the difference is between all those. I typically just go and go. All right, so we set it. Now we're going to come up here to the upper right. We're going to slice it, and computer's going to do math for us. The computer has to figure out the XYZ axis for your 3D printer so that it knows as I extrude this line of plastic out through my nozzle, how do I move to make the thing you want me to make? Oh, this one's not bad. 14 hours. I say, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Yeah, these are going to need some assistances as well. Okay, it's fine. It is what it is. All right, so we have that. It's going to be 14 hours, now 15, and it's going to take 145 grams to print that. And now what we need to do is export this G code, which is the schematics that it uses, the printer uses. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Spaceship hull, and I like to rename it with the grams on there so that I know later in 6 years, if I just go and grab this, it printed fine. I need to make another one. Oh, I've already got it sliced up and I got the files. Here we go. And it's going to save it off to a disk, being my hard drive. Now, if we go in and we look at that G code, old school G code, baby. And I'm going to right click and open this up with Notepad++. And it's going to get, it just has information here that the printer can recognize. Total layers, 100, 806. These are comments, I'm guessing. As a programmer, we're just going to comment some of this stuff out. So the computer doesn't really look at this stuff. This is more for me. And I can come in here and look at this and change stuff if I want to. But yeah, reset feed rate. So these are comments in here. So this is, all the M codes, the XYZ codes. These are the commands. A lot of it's done with G. That's why it's called a G code. And this is telling the printer how to move. Go here, XYZ, do this, do that, and extrude while you're doing it. Go X, go Y. Oops. Go do things. Hey, there you go. Start a wipe, end a wipe. All kinds of crazy stuff going on in that G code, which we don't really need to care about in the most part. Okay, so there's that one. I can close that. Okay, we did that part. And then let's go back to prepare. I like to save it frequently, even though it takes a minute. Because the last thing you want to do is get everything going and set up all the way you want, spend 2 hours doing all that work, and then it crash. Right? The software. It happens all the time. So let's click onto this one. And scoot or boot over. Here's kind of a similar situation. We're just going to go into this and we're going to say tree. Now we can experiment if we want to and see if we can get our hours and plastic usage down. I really don't. Ideally, I would love to just print this and not use any supports, but it's not always possible. So we have a tree. Let's mess around. So you have tree mode and normal auto mode. Let's try auto. Let's slice that so I can show you what that looks like. I typically like tree because it uses less plastic. It's easier to remove from the model, and you're going to see why I like it better. Because this is what would normally look like with a regular standard default grid pattern. I don't want to spend days picking that off. So I typically do the tree auto, and it's going to reslice it so we can see what that's going to look like. Maybe. Come on, do it. Slice it. So again, if you're thinking about getting into 3D printing, you have to do this. You can't just buy a 3D printer and some filament and say, go. It's not, even in a regular desktop printer with paper and ink, you still have to supply it with paper, and you got to put the ink in, and you got to refill that, and you got to connect it to the Wi-Fi, and you got to troubleshoot the nozzles. You got to clean the heads. There's work that's done in that. But you see here, that's a heck of a lot less work that I would have to do taking all of these bridges off. Now, I will say I don't like all of this crap in here, but that's fine. But even if you zoom in, you can see the different layers of plastic that it's going to extrude out to build this whole thing out. So that's not too bad. 14 hours, 165 filaments. Let's take another look at these styles. Let's take a look at just pure organic instead of organic grid. I gotta reslice it. Now I'm curious. This is half the reason it takes so long to print certain things. Like, okay, I can see in my mind's eye this printing okay, and I don't see a big difference. You can also come down here and say, we can cut through it and watch how it would print. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do that. Like have it play through the print automatically. Where is that? Is it here? We can hide layers. Thought there was a way to do that. Doesn't matter. It's for fun. Okay, so this is fine. This is gonna work. Let's try another one. Tree slim. All right, slim it up for me. Slim in my brain says less plastic with the same support. I don't know. We're gonna find out. The other option is to just slice this and save it off into different files so that it prints differently, and then you would see in the real world how each one does. But that, oh no, 252 grams of plastic at 17 hours. No, you're the worst. Hybrid. So far, the winner is basic default. It's the basic bitch. And we just might do that. It's thinking. 1,000. It's got to get 1,035 layers. What? Oh, that's the hybrid. Nope, you suck too. All right, we're going back to auto. Let's slice it with the default grid. First layer density, layer expansions, build on plate only. And raft layers. I typically don't use raft layers unless I have to. Yeah, that's just going to be the best. 164, print it, slice it. All right, let's name this. I like 04. We know we're printing FDM. And the PLA is just the type of plastic. This is going to be 165 G's, baby. Save it. You can print in rubber. You can print in UV protected, ultraviolet resistant, all the things. PLA's basic. That's just typically what I do. Okay, next one. All right, now we're getting into the main body. And as a swivel, it's going to need some support, quite a bit actually, dang it. But I don't want to turn it upside down. It's going to need support inside there too. I'm looking, because I'm looking in here. It's going to want to, you know what? I'm fine with it because I'm probably just going to glue it instead of putting pins in it. But when I go ahead and these are holes that you're going to put pins in to connect everything. And because there's a flat surface up there, it's going to want to add supports to that. I don't want it, but that's okay. All right, let's come in here. Let's click on it. What? Reorient the object. You reorient the object. Let's go to prepare. And I'm going to click this button here, which is arrange objects on current plate. It auto arranges it so that it prints it, does math real quick to figure out, hey, what's the best way to print this? Oh, just like that. And then we're going to go click onto it and we're going to hit support with tree, default, slice. I should save this. And let's see what it's going to do. I'm trying to think long term, or trying to think in my mind how I'm actually going to. I typically glue things. I got the, oh, it didn't. Look at that. It didn't put, okay. But it's got a lot of other stuff. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't want to complain too much because it's actually very minimal. And some of you seasoned slicers out there are probably like, well, you're doing it the hard way. You can do it like this and have it done half the time. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm doing. 132 grams, 10 hours. Okay. Hey, Aaron, why aren't you combining multiple parts on the same plate so you don't have to spend so much time? I could do that too. You are more than welcome to go and print this off your bad self. Is that done already? All right. So that is something that we can do, and we'll probably do that later. I like to do one part. That way, if something screws up, I didn't get 90% of the way done with 3 big things. I just got one thing I got to reprint. It doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. Let's do the tree. Let's slice it. I won't record like an hour of this, maybe just a little bit more. But there are some things on here that I probably won't print at all, or I'll print on my resin printer because it has a higher detail and the glue doesn't care. All right, 216 hours. 16 hours, 200 grams of plastic. And again, that's half that's tree. Even though the trees are hollow, these aren't solid. These are hollow trees. We can verify that. If we just come down here, so we can see that these trees print hollow. It's just a support, so it doesn't want to use a ton of stuff. And the infill on these, I forgot about that. Stupid infill. That's okay. I'll just leave it. Infill is the plastic inside, although this piece is mostly hollow. There's still large sections, and so we don't want to fill it solid with plastic, but we want to give it some kind of internal structure so that if you drop it, it's not going to shatter into a billion pieces, and it's going to be nice and strong. I typically don't like this one. I typically do. There's so many to choose from nowadays. They keep adding. They keep adding it. Sparse infill. This is the crosshatch. I don't even care anymore. Just do what you think is best. This ain't going anywhere. Okay, so G code. Let's print that. It looks fine. I don't have any problems with it per se. And let's take all this stuff off. Add our grams. 200 G's. Okay. We got that. Now let's go back and look at some things that we can take off. Like these probably won't need any supports. Because if we look at this, especially underneath, oh, it might need some internal supports. And maybe for these too. But it won't be too bad. And I typically would print them like this. Oops. Control Z that. There we go. I'll probably print it up like this, even just because of the way it is. That's a dumb, because I don't want to have to peel. These are nice and detailed parts. This is the engine back, and so I don't want to have to pick supports and things off of this because it looks really nice. All right. That's for you. So those are the engine parts. Part of it. There's part of the back engine. So here's some other things like these plates. These obviously they're just flat. Let's click on it. There's just flat pieces that go into something else, and we could easily add some other things to that so that, yeah, let's take all of these. We can put these over here. And there's lots of pieces. Sorry, I'm trying to get it all organized. There's lots of pieces. Some of these need to come over here or on a separate plate. I don't know. I typically will build a couple of big things and then come back and be like, all right, I did all the big fun things. Now let's do all the little minutia. Ugh, it's gross. Minutia. And I think I've got a left and a right. So anyway, that's a lot of it. This should be easy right here. This should be real easy. If I come in here, hit auto arrange. Okay, it's already done. And I'm not going to add supports or anything. Let's just slice it and see what happens. Because this looks like tubes. Tubes. So this would be something that like, all right, I need 8 of these. I don't want to print this 8 individual times. Let me just put them all on the same plate and print it all out in one shot. So it seems like we got some issues here. And if we go underneath and look at it from the bottom, we got lots of ledges that we are going to need supports. And that is fine. So what I'll do is I'm going to, go back to prepare. And can I do this by plate? That's a bed, print sequence, spiral. It's fine, it's fine. We're going to shift, click, and drag to select all of these. Go into support. Hit my auto tree, and then we got to slice it at least once. Throat hurts. I'm going to slice it once so that the computer knows, hey, we got some issues. And maybe this is going to be a situation I can only print 4 or 6 at a time. It's all right, fine. Do it twice. Yeah, we got conflicts because the trees are smooshing each other's trees. So you go back to prepare and you hit arrange objects. There we go. See, it spaced them all out because now it knows, hey, we need some space for all these. And now we should be able to slice it again and have a better layout. So as you saw, this is going to take a lot of time. It's probably going to take about a month maybe to print diagnose, maybe reprint some parts that have problems. And it's going to take several spools. That looks good. 16 hours for all that. 156 grams. Print it. There we go. Number 19. It's the engine. We got eight of them. It's in PLA. And it is 157. Let's round up. 157 grams. Okay. I wonder if there was, it probably doesn't tell you how many kilograms per project, does it? See, we got project info, no model information, prepare. So that's what you got to do if you're thinking about getting a 3D printer. This is for the plastic. If you're going to use resin, there's other software that you got to use. Each printer should come with its own software from the manufacturer. This is, I have 2 Creality printers. Oh, I could put them both to work. Keep forgetting I got a Neo. I might do that on some of these. I might throw them on the Neo, double duty it. But then I got to adjust all my settings. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So this is, we're slicing up 3D models for Pegasus. Where'd it go? Hey, Peggy. Hey, Peggy. Where's it? Let's get to the bottom so we can see the whole thing laid out. I know I got a bunch of stuff. All the little parts and all the guns and the LEDs. See those I would print in my resin printer so that I get absolute crystal clear. Or if I wanted blue or red, I could print them in blue or red or green, whatever resin color I want. Might have to think about that. Here's how to, oh, the landing bay on the side nacelles. Yeah. How to attach everything and get it looking sexy. And the stand, it comes with a stand and a nameplate. Looks good.